is the 20th of June, the year 2025. We are glad you're tuned into this live broadcast. We bring you news across our borders and even beyond our very own borders. Now, we have a lot lined up for you because our reporters have been up and about, interacting with different issues and different people, and they have brought you different stories tonight. Here are the top ones. Rigathi Gachagua rallies Meru against government sidelining the Mount Kenya region. Kenya first. Raila Odinga calls for unity amidst dissenting voices. As the leaders caution youth ahead of anticipated June 25th Gen Z protests. Thousand trees at the historic Mau Mau Caves. This is KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. And Sami Okello joins us in the sign language interpretation tonight. Welcome to the broadcast for 45 to 50 minutes of information on happenings in the country and beyond our borders. We begin. Now, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, accompanied by former Agriculture CS Mutegi Linturi, toured Nkobo in their three-day political onslaught in Meru County. Gachagua launched a scathing attack on Kenya Kwanza administration, rallying support from the residents while criticizing the government exclusion and leadership direction.
Nkubu, Meru County was host to former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, where he continued to criticize the Kenya Kwanza government for sidelining the Mount Kenya region. Rigathi's visit was purposeful to unveil a new political strategy.
Wewe Kasongo umetumia watoto wetu vibaya. Kwenu huko Rift Valley unapeleka barabara. Kwa Raila unapeleka stima. Kuko kwa watu yako unapeleka maendeleo.
Speaking during the public baraza, the DCP party leader hit out at President William Ruto for his impeachment, saying that one of the reasons for his predicament was because he bought land in Meru County. The former DP criticized his former boss for flimsy charges, adding that he will build a house in the land he bought so that he can be close to his kinsmen.
Shitaka moja nilipigiwa pale Senate. Ati ile makosa nilifanya pale Senate. Na wabunge wenu wameunga mkono. Senator Kadhuri amesema ndio. Ati makosa ya Rigathi Gachagua ni kununua shamba Meru. Si mimi ni mtoto ya mama? Sasa mimi nikinunua shamba Meru nirudi nyumbani nikuwe karibu na watu wetu. Iko makosa?
The former DP has also condemned members of the parliament from the county for working in cohort with President William Ruto to impeach him and suppress the region in terms of development. He encouraged them not to be swayed easily by the Kenya Kwanza government.
Na mimi naomba kwa heshima, naomba sana kwa heshima wabunge wetu. Hapana sindikisha Kasongo kuumiza watu wetu. Si ndio? Si Kasongo anatuumiza. Sasa nyinyi wabunge mnafuata Kasongo akiumiza watu ya nyumbani. Huyu mtu hataki sisi mema. Amepanga kumaliza watu ya mlima. Nyinyi ndio mnasindikisha Kasongo na kumsimamia kumaliza watu wetu. Ni ujinga si ujinga? Ni ujinga si ujinga? Harambe!
Mr. Gachagua, who was accompanied by leaders from Meru County, including former CS Mutegi Linturi, has added that he will continue with his quest to unite the region and ensure that Ruto is a one-term president. Mithika Linturi aligned himself with Gachagwa's sentiments and backed calls for regional unity and stronger political direction, saying that Meru must work with leaders that prioritize people over positions.
Chamoto, hata ukitusumbua, umevinyanyasa ya kutosha. Kasongo ende asiende. Kasongo ende asiende. Meru mnasemaje hapa? Mimi nimekuja kusikiza ground. Meru. Ground inasemaje? Ground inasemaje? Meru mnasemaje? Kasongo ni one town. Harambe. Wewe Ruto. Wewe Kasongo. Wewe Kaongo. Wewe mwizi. Wewe muuaji. Wewe mtu ya kutenga. Harambe. Kasongo hadi asiende. Kasongo asiende. Wakati wanasema Kasongo aende Kasongo.
But then because our watu kazi yao ni wizi na uporaji, wameanza okolea ya kusunguka Kenya ya kupeana pesa ndogo ndogo ambayo iwezi kumsaidia mtu.
The DCP leader is on the charm offensive in the county in his quest to consolidate the region in gearing up for the 2027 elections. Pesi Achola, KUTV.
Now, ODM party leader Raila Odinga has called upon the government to listen to dissenting voices in order to restore the people's faded trust in the government and its institution. Odinga spoke this during his keynote speech address on day 2 of 3rd National Executive Retreat.
In what appeared to be a directed message packed for the opposition, ODM party leader Raila Odinga has fired the battalion to the opposition, calling for the unity of Kenya despite their political differences.
No matter our disagreements, our visions and disappointments, we have to have a country first. We may hold as lofty visions, as we wish, but without a country to implement the ideas, they will remain mere wishes and deferred dreams.
Odinga, who was addressing the cabinet secretaries and top government officials on day 2 of the 3rd National Executive Retreat, challenged the William Ruto-led regime backed up by the broad-based government to listen to the people amid its fading trust in the government.
It is my hope that this policy and performance review could lead to a better understanding and ownership of the government by the people. With the lessons from the recent past, I would say that going forward, everything has to be about the people, not the leaders.
With the ongoing quest for justice following the death of slain teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang, Odinga was quick to remind the government to listen to young people and the dissenting voices.
The review also comes at a trying time for the country, emerging for those demanding better services and more say in government. The ferment is also driven by those who feel they have to be in power. Both categories are citizens of Kenya. They deserve a hearing.
Odinga, who has been a great supporter of Adani, was not shy to show his frustration with the cancellation of the Adani deal that was marred with controversies since its entry into the Kenyan market through proposed deals in the energy and aviation sectors. According to Odinga, Adani deal would have been a game changer in the aviation industry to anchor Kenya Airways at the very top of the continent.
I was very disappointed when we are not able to move on with the airport contract. When we brought in the Adani, they brought all these politics, and then the contract was cancelled. If that is not done, Nairobi will just become dormant.
Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
And now Nairobi court has dismissed a high-profile case against web developer and activist Rose Njeri, citing a defective charge sheet. Milimani Principal Magistrate Geoffrey Onsarigo ruled that the charges failed to meet the legal threshold under Section 16 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act. Njeri had been accused of unauthorized interference with computer systems through a digital tool that collected public feedback on the 2025 finance bill, allegedly disrupting Parliament's email system. Civil society groups have condemned the arrest as a crackdown on digital activism and civil tech. And Kiambu Governor, that is Kimani Wamatangi, has secured temporary relief from the High Court, which has barred the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission from harassing or intimidating him pending determination of a case filed in court. The directive by the Lady Justice Dora Chepkwony follows a petition by a Limuru voter who accused the EACC of disobeying an earlier court order and unfairly targeting the governor.
If the ECC continue to harass him or to come to arrest him, it is contrary to the orders of the High Court. It will be contrary to the Constitution of Kenya because ECC is a constitutional body. When I came to this Honourable Court, I filed the petition. I served the other respondents, the state, ECC, and all as well as the National Police Service. In accordance, but the argument was unconstitutional because the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Article 22 of the Constitution of Kenya and 258 grant the citizens of this country to have a rock stand, to stand before the court.
Amid rising anxiety in the country over the anticipated June 25th Gen Z demonstrations, top political leaders are urging restraint. Led by National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, the leaders are cautioning the youth against allowing themselves to be used in politically motivated violence as tools of political disruption.
In Kijauri, Nyamira County, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula stood before hundreds during a women empowerment event and declared peace non-negotiable.
Don't be drawn into conflicts that are not yours. Don't hate people you don't even know. Don't hate people who have not even wronged you. Focus on our country. Ndio tunasema kule Nairobi, wale ambao wanaleta furugu na kuharibu biashara ya watu tunawakemea. People struggle to build lives.
Joined by more than 10 MPs, he carried rising incitement and urged young people to avoid becoming pawns in political games. Their message was clear: Kenya cannot afford another descent into violence. They recalled the painful events of 2007, warning against political recklessness that could spark national unrest.
Vijana wenzangu, nataka kuwaeleza tafadhali, msikubali kutumika vibaya, sindio? Msikubali kutumika vibaya. Wacha tukae pamoja, tukae kwa amani, tusupport serikali, ndio sisi kama Abagusi pamoja na kila mtu hii Kenya tuweza kuwa na amani, tuweza kuwa na maendeleo, sisi wote tupate kitu.
Leaders also defended the police, cautioning against painting the entire police service as rogue based on a few incidents. However, they emphasized the need for balanced justice across all regions. From condemning tribalism to calling for national cohesion, the event became more than just a women's gathering, but rather it was a national call for unity, peace and purpose.
And that is the reason why I want to say that if one police officer, if one priest, if one Mtume has broken the law, we cannot condemn the entire police force, the entire clergy,
As the clock ticks towards Wednesday, the nation watches closely. Will Gen Zs heed the call for peace, or will history repeat itself? Edna Nerea, KUTV.
All right, it is 14 minutes past the top of the hour. Time for us to take a short break right here on KUTV Primetime News. We'll be back in just but a bit with so much more. Keep it here.
Badala ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila woga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi. Hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. 17 minutes past the top of the hour. Time for us to continue with the bulletin. Now, Kasarani residents staged protests today, demanding justice for a 19-year-old girl found murdered in her mother's house. The angry demonstrators lit bonfires and blocked the Santon Kasarani Road, disrupting businesses for hours. Witnesses said the girl who had recently completed high school was assaulted before being killed, with her body found bleeding from the neck and mouth. This comes a day after Thome Estate residents protested a separate killing of a young man, accusing police of a cover-up. Both communities are now demanding swift investigations and justice. And 1 year after Kenya's youth-led protest forced the withdrawal of the 2024 finance bill at a tragic human cost, fears are escalated as activists vow to mark the anniversary. Security chiefs have been holding crisis meetings amid fresh concerns over police conduct following recent violence and a disturbing alliance between officers and militia. Emmanuel Kutosi reports on a nation bracing for tension.
June 25th, 2024, Kenya's Gen Z protest forced the government to scrap off the contentious Finance Bill 2024.
They want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024. I concede.
But victory came at a brutal price. as protesters marched to confront members of parliament who backed the bill. Live fire from security forces allegedly cut down scores.
I can't topple the government on my own, but we're afraid of office actually an unpopular uprising by the people who are disadvantaged.
The anniversary now looms. Activists have pledged not to let the day fade quietly, prompting top security officials into urgent strategy sessions.
I promised Kenyans that we're going to be in the streets at the end of June to mark 1 year. I want to assure Kenyans that they will be safe. There will be no thuggery, there will be no mugging, there will be no looting.
Yet recent events cast a dark shadow.
We are here pained for what the police have done. You're murdering a Kenyan in a police cell. Somebody's only child. How heartless can you guys be in the police force?
The killing of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang triggered fresh demonstrations met with alarming force.
There cannot be any justification to take anybody's life, even if you're insulted.
Disturbingly, footage emerged showing police alongside armed goons clubbing protesters in Nairobi's central business district.
Kali isipo interfere na maandamano, hiyo maandamano itakuwa la amani. Police ikikosa kuinterfere na maandamano Kenya, hiyo itakuwa la amani.
The collusion raises urgent questions. Who controls the streets? Is this Kenya's new protest response?
Wale viongozi ambao wanaingilia wanalipa vijana ndio waende kufanya hayo mambo, tafadhali ni tuachane na hiyo. Tuachane na hiyo kabisa. We are peaceful. We are peaceful. We are peaceful. We are peaceful.
They came for the Jews. I did not say anything because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me and there was no one to speak for me.
The 2024 crackdown left a trail of enforced disappearances, torture, injuries, and grieving families searching for missing children who dared to challenge power.
Tarehe 25 mwezi June, we mark it as a Gen Z Revolution Day. Itakuwa ni sikukuu ya watu wa Kenya kusherehekea uhuru mpya alioletewa na kizazi cha Gen Z.
Naambia William Ruto akiwa Kisumu, there cannot be an apology without the truth, and there cannot be an apology without justice.
With the 25th of June 2025 approaching, many fear a repeat performance, wondering what awaits those who take to the streets again. Emmanuel Kutosi, KUTV.
Thank you, Emmanuel Kutosi. Now, Anglican bishops from Nyanza are now demanding the disbandment of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, accusing it of turning into a political weapon against innocent citizens. Speaking in Kisumu, the bishops condemned recent acts of police brutality, including the shooting of protesters in Nairobi, and urged President William Ruto to urgently restore order, professionalism, and accountability within the police ranks.
Every human being has a right to be heard, and an avenue must be opened for every Kenyan to express their views within the law. The emerging threats to social media users as an affront to these unalienable rights of expression. Let those who also take advantage of social media to abuse others without substantiation be warned of consequences that will follow.
Please come to terms with the fact that many Kenyans are cursing you every day
because of your heartless and callous manner of dealing with the members of the public. And in this kind of behavior that has led into radicalization of our youth as they strive to resist this totalitarianism and its very many manifestations. Most of our youth go to the streets to protest against lawlessness perpetuated by wanton conduct of our security forces. Our words of comfort to all Kenyans who are not feeling safe with the police is simple and clear. Your frustrations have reached the Lord, and it's just a matter of time before these perpetrators of extrajudicial killings will start paying for their wickedness.
The controller of budget has come out strongly against counties for misusing public funds of non-essential travel and training. In her 2025 budget report, Dr. Margaret Nyakango revealed that millions of shillings were spent on foreign trips, workshops, and benchmarking exercises, many of which delivered little or no value to citizens.
The deadly protests of June 25, 2024, sparked by public outrage over budget mismanagement, President William Ruto announced sweeping austerity measures aimed at reducing waste in government spending. But 1 year later, county governments appear to have ignored the directive. Many continue to spend lavishly on foreign trips, with minimal results to show for it.
Presidency and extending to the entire.
According to the report by the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakango, county executive members, members of county assembly and county governors have continued to spend millions of shillings on benchmarking trips, study tours, training sections and workshops, many of which could be conducted locally at a fraction of the cost. The Controller of Budget noted, and I quote, there is misuse of funds by counties regarding trips because these meetings could have been organized in Nairobi or even nearby towns within the counties themselves. End of quote. According to the report, Nairobi leads the list of counties that spend most on foreign trips, with 229.79 million shillings spent in just 9 months. Other counties with the highest misuse included Machakos County with 82 million shillings, Lamu with 76 million shillings, Kitui with 66 million shillings, Mombasa 59.6 million shillings, Nakuru 57 million shillings, Nyeri 55.61 million shillings, and Kisumu 51 million shillings respectively. The report further reveals that in the county of Nanda, a total of 44.97 million shillings was used for abroad travels, including a controversial travel to Singapore to learn about smart farming, while farmers continue to decry lack of fertilizers as well as market access in the country, raising a question of resources prioritization of resources allocations. In yet another shocking revelation, the county officials of the county of Busia were noted to have used 1.8 million shillings in their travel to New York for United Nations General Assembly meeting. Dr. Nyakango, wondering what diploma's delegation visit had to do with the border county, which continues to struggle with healthcare and infrastructure challenges. As counties continue to violate austerity measures on allocation of scarce public resources in the capacity building, the question remains, who will hold them accountable? Stephen Marsha, KUTV.
28 minutes past 9 p.m. Time for us to take another short break right here on KUTV Primetime News. We have so much more in store for you. Keep it here.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mukwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia.
They find it quite strange talking to you.
We should just make schools integrated.
Inclusive setups.
By providing the right facilities.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. 9:30, time for us to continue with the broadcast. And remember, this stream is also live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Also have a conversation with us that is on X at KUTV_Kenya. Now, as the effects of climate change continue to unfold across the country, students and staff from Kenyatta University have taken a proactive step in environmental conservation. The team held a tree planting exercise at the historic Mau Mau Caves in Githiga, Kiambu County, a move aimed at supporting the national reforestation agenda. Patricia Alex reports.
In a determined effort to combat climate change and restore degraded forest land, the Kenyatta University community planted over 2,000 tree seedlings in the iconic Mau Mau Caves. The area, which was once a hiding spot for freedom fighters, now gets a new lease of life through greenery, soil rehabilitation, and renewed environmental value.
And today we are visiting this area, Mau Mau Caves in Githiga area within Githunguri sub-county to continue growing trees. We under a major activity within this ecosystem last few weeks on 24th of April this year, where we were able to grow about 30,000 tree seedlings, especially the indigenous trees.
Local administrators in the initiative, terming it timely and critical. Ikinu Division's Assistant County Commissioner Margaret Mukami said the exercise complements the government's efforts, including the recently launched Jazamiti app, which tracks tree planting contributions nationwide.
The students are becoming part of us because they are doing what everyone is doing right now. You see, we are...
So far this year, the university has planted over 6,000 trees in the Mau Mau Caves alone, with an impressive survival rate of 80%.
Is because we are making this environment better, not only for us, but for our generations, and even for the entire universe.
The tree planting campaign now shifts to the Coast and Kutv counties, in line with the KU's environmental restoration mission. At Karura Forests, the spirit of environmental conservation is taking roots as Kenyatta University students and staff join hands towards a greener and healthier future. Patricia Alex for KUTV Kiambu.
Thank you, Patricia Alex, for that particular story. Now, in regions like West Pokot, where harmful cultural practices such as early marriage and FGM have long held back young girls, change is taking root as several local and international organizations are now taking active action to rewrite that narrative, rescuing girls and equipping them with the skills they need to live empowered, independent lives. Caroline Kimwele now reports.
More than 700 women in remote areas of West Pokot County are celebrating a new chapter in their lives thanks to support from NGOs, including the Global Give Back Circle, a women-led organization that supports girls and young women, including those rescued from early marriages, and FGM.
They have a rescue center. They take women, they teach them financial inclusion, they teach them various skills. And I think what's interesting is, I think it's been around for 15 years, and today we've just seen how much growth that has been happening. They have sewing labs, they have plumbing, they have catering, hairdressing. So this is a place where women from Pokot, or girls actually, would come here, seek refuge, especially when they're sort of running away from FGM.
This program offers a safe space for these women alongside technical skills that equip them from dignified employment and entrepreneurship through the HALAB program.
We're thinking about how can we have these girls progress and have skills. So I thought of a technical college for the girls, institution where the girls can be supported. It's not been easy to have all this in place because there are tools and equipments which need to be put in place. And we are grateful that Mastercard Foundation and Global Give Back Circle came in to support us.
Some of the beneficiaries shared emotional and inspiring testimonies of how the program has transformed their lives, showing how grassroots efforts are reshaping communities from the inside out.
Baadhi yetu wengine tulikuwa tunakaa nyumbani, hakuna kazi tunafanya, tuna roam tu, tunakaa tu, but wakati program ilikuja imetusaidia sisi baadhi wetu wengine, saizi maisha yetu tunaona inaenda kubadilika.
Has been impactful to us. Imetusaidia sisi kama youth kwanza kupata kazi, na pia it has mentored us to leadership, as especially women from this marginalized community. We are facing a lot of challenges, first-time challenges. I feel like it has really been helpful to us.
This event marked a major milestone in the journey of hundreds of women who have rebuilt their lives through training, mentorship and entrepreneurship support offered by the Global Give Back Circle through the HALAB initiative.
We have heard incredible stories of how women who were really feeling as though life didn't offer them much opportunities, they were feeling quite stuck and quite helpless, and yet with very little financial support, they've been able to really transform their lives. Saving even 200 shillings a month or 200 shillings a week has really helped them. We've heard of stories of women who've been able to support each other, to invest in businesses.
Founded and led by Linda Lockhart, the initiative is now scaling up with support from the Mastercard Foundation and a community-based organization, Perur Rays of Hope. Caroline Kimwele for KUTV.
Now, the Kenya Model United Nations has officially launched the 25th session of Refugee Week, hosted at Kenyatta University's Parklands campus. The event brings together students, diplomats, refugees, and dignitaries to spotlight inclusive policy and dignity for displaced persons. Our reporter Yvonne Kemuma covered today's opening ceremony and filed this story.
The Kenya Model United Nations today launched the 25th session of the Refugee Week, a reflection on a renewed call for dignity, not just charity, for refugees. The opening ceremony hosted at Kenyatta University's Parkland campus brought together student delegates, refugee voices, and diplomats.
Alleviating the refugee crisis requires a coordinated global effort involving governments, humanitarian organizations, and local communities.
Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Paul Wainaina, while officiating the launch, urged Kenyans to view refugees not as a burden but as a part of society. With over 4.5 million refugees in the Horn of Africa, many fleeing conflict, climate crises, and economic collapse, Kenya's evolving legal protections were highlighted, including the Refugee Act of 2021 and the 2024 General Regulations. Professor Paul Wainaina commended the government for issuing legally recognized refugee documents that enabled access to essential services such as healthcare and education. However, he stressed that true integration goes beyond access.
As a country, as a nation, we need to do more. The issue of probably giving handout is not enough. What we need is actually to have these people as part of us.
On her part, South Sudan's Deputy Ambassador Ida Wade echoed the sentiment, thanking Kenya for hosting thousands of refugees over the years.
I urge you still to increase the scholarship for lower and higher schools and even food distribution. Why I'm saying this, we have a lot of our children who are in lower schools, who are in higher schools like universities like this, but they cannot manage, even their parents cannot manage to pay their school fees.
With the global refugee population continuing to rise, speakers emphasized the need to address displacement with both policy and compassion. Speaking to the media, David Ndonyuzwe, a Congolese refugee, currently a student pursuing healthcare management, who had to flee ongoing conflict, shared that while leaving home was painful, finding a safe place to call home has brought a sense of healing.
There are still a lot of gaps, especially in integration. We are still in Kenya, yes, we are received, we have a home, but when it comes to essential services like financial services, getting jobs, education, all those opportunities, you still stand, you are lost in the middle because your documents cannot access all those services.
Emmanuel Kiamo, a student at Strathmore University, added his voice to the call for empathy.
All I just wish for everyone to be peaceful, keep peace in every aspect, because amani, in Swahili it says amani here to peace is ours. So if you don't have peace, you don't have progress.
The Kenya Model United Nations Refugee Week will run until the 21st of June with forums, debate and youth-led diplomacy sessions planned throughout.
In our language, it's a milk pot. So
Yvonne Kemoma, KUTV.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health, from diet to mental health. The familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV. Welcome back. Now let's get sporty. The new Football Kenya Federation Premier League champions, that is Police FC, plan to extend dominance beyond FKF Premier League, with the team targeting to go past group stages in their first inaugural CAF Champions League. Next, they also target to wind up the season on high note, with the law enforcers eyeing to upset the record champions Gor Mahia FC in their final match of the season on Sunday at the Ulinzi complex, to add icing on the cake in what has proved to be a successful season for Police FC. Now, Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes and Liverpool forward, that is Mohamed Salah, are among the 6 nominees for the Professional Footballers Association Player of the Year award. Salah, who has already bagged Premier League Player of the Season award, is aiming to win the award for a record-breaking 3rd time. Among those nominated for the award include Newcastle United forward Alexander Isak, Chelsea playmaker Cole Palmer, and Arsenal midfielder Declan Rice. The winner of the award will be announced on 19th August at a ceremony in Manchester. Thank you for joining us for approximately 50 minutes of information on what's happening in your country and beyond your borders. Sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okello. My name is Mutegi K. Martin. Good night.